What's up, everybody? Welcome to LootCast episode 9. I'm one of your hosts, Dom, and joining me again, the cosplayer, video game slayer himself, Colton. What's up, buddy?
It's great to be back for the fine episode 9.
I mean, some would call it the first ever episode 9.
I'm hoping maybe there's a part 2, part 3.
More likely, there'll be just number 10.
The trilogy? Who knows?
So we got a special episode lined up for you guys. We got a lot of news popping up in the gaming industry, from Sonic Mania to No Man's Sky back charting up on the news. But we're gonna start off with a kind of like a little eulogy, a little goodbye.
The death of a great man, not in real life, but more in business life,
right? The death of a career. So some of you might know a little name, Nick Robinson. So oftentimes we have to do research for this show and reviews and things, and we go to a little website called Polygon. You guys might be familiar with it. Well,
news site.
Somebody is no longer going to be reporting from there anymore.
What happened?
So, if you ever heard the phrase slide up into the DMs, Mr. Nick Robinson was trying to slide up into a lot of DMs.
Too many DMs.
From the girls around the gaming industry. So, poor man got some complaints from some pretty famous women in the gaming industry because he was trying to do just that, slide into the DMs. Do you believe this, Colton?
I am shocked and appalled, and I'm speechless at the time. Why would a man such as Nick Robinson utilize direct messaging to try to flirt and hook up with the gaming industry's finest through ways of, say, Twitter?
So we can probably take a good guess on why, but I mean, I think maybe if Nick told us himself, I think we'd probably get a little more value out of that. So
is that an open invite?
I think that is. So I mean, you know, if you can't find anywhere to go ahead and search the game looters, because I think we would love to have you. But quickly, I want to talk about what he actually said to the why behind this.
The why? His apology statement? Is that what we're referring to?
We're calling it I'm trying to save my career here.
So his eulogy.
Yeah.
His eulogy, for lack of better term.
Yeah. So what did he say, Colt?
So without further ado, Nick Robinson. I messed up, and I owe you an explanation. Over 9 years on this website, I've used it for every aspect of my life. Making friends, finding jobs, and yes, embarrassingly, flirting. This means I have, on many occasions, used Twitter to hit on people. That's embarrassing enough on its own, as it's now clear that some of these advances were unwanted or handled very poorly. But there's another significant issue. While my platform and my responsibilities grew, I failed to grow alongside of them. Over the past couple years, I kept on using Twitter the same way I always have, including sliding into DMs, a move that carries an entirely different weight when you're a private individual versus when you're a public one. Not that long ago, I had an extremely small following online. I never imagined I'd someday be getting messages from people about how the silly stuff I've made has pulled them out of a dark place or affected them positively. I certainly never imagined there'd be fan art with my dumb face on it. All that to say this, I'm now, as weird as it sounds, in a position of power, but I'm ashamed to admit that until the past few days, I hadn't appreciated the responsibility that brings. I'll admit that when this conversation first started, I was defensive and confused. I've always tried to be a thoughtful, considerate person when it comes to this stuff, and couldn't understand what was going on. But the more I thought about it, the more I understood where people were coming from. The past week, doing little besides reflecting on my own behavior. I'm embarrassed, obviously, but more than embarrassed, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to anyone I ever made uncomfortable with my advances, and I'm sorry for disappointing fans of mine who rightfully expect better from me. I know I've let you down, and I know it falls on me to earn back your trust by changing my behavior going forward. That's exactly what I intend to do. Nick Robinson.
Moving on. This week we have the news breaking out.
News segments.
So we got a few things on the hot news segment. I want to start off with talking about a little game that everybody should support for $19.99. Sonic Mania.
Ooh, Sonic Mania. I believe we saw that at E3. Am I not mistaken?
Yes. I dare say I played it more times than I played any game at E3. Now, I am not the Sonic guy. I am not a Sonic fan by any means. But if any game is going to save the franchise, I think it's this little game called Sonic Mania.
Sonic Mania. Take me through it, Dom.
So, it's a little game that a lot of developers that were kind of home brewing their Sonic game, they got noticed by Sega, and Sega brought them in and said, instead of making a replica Sonic game, make a real Sonic game. So, think of fans that are Sonic crazy.
I don't want to think about those fans right now.
But those are the ones who have continually supported them, and they're the ones that are making this game. So by Sega, that's pretty cool. I mean, the fact is that you got people who really love the franchise making a true to form Sonic game. That's cool.
It's really cool.
Flip side is I freaking hate Sonic.
Right, same here.
So to me, it feels exactly the same as it felt 20 years ago.
Right, back in the 80s, same game.
Which I still don't want to play, but you're going to get to play that if you are the Sonic fan. You're going to get exactly what you wanted.
You're going to get the same game you've gotten for the past 20 installments.
But here's the thing. Much like my little Bandicoot out there, I hope people support this because I still want to see them come out because there is a heavy following.
Right.
I think this kind of make it or break it for the Sonic franchise. So I don't think that new Heroes-esque one that's coming out,
Sonic Heroes,
I don't think that's going to do anything for the franchise. But I think this game is. So our friends who play it on PC, I have some sad news for you guys. So what broke this week is the PC version is getting pushed back from the 15th of this month, which is in the next few days, to the 29th.
2 weeks of no Sonic, no Sonic Mania. I'm breathless. I'm speechless right now. What am I going to do as a PC player?
You're gonna wait.
I'm gonna have to read more Sonic fanfic.
You might have to do that, or you might have to play one of the 19 emulators you probably have on your computer right now that is just jam-packed with Sonic and all his friends.
All his friendos. But just to kind of sidetrack off of this, considering that this game is now coming out kind of like in a reformed version of itself, are we coming into the revivalist era?
I mean, I think we are, because right now, Crash Bandicoot has lit the world on fire. Nobody was expecting it. Activision they're gasping that this even sold what it did.
Right.
It can't stop selling in the UK and Australia, and in the United States it's doing very well. I mean, we just saw the numbers from July, and it was #1 from top downloads for PlayStation.
Right.
It's probably going to come to Xbox. It's probably going to come to Nintendo Switch. So Activision is riding the money train. But what's going to happen now is we're probably going to see Spyro. We're probably going to see, well, we are seeing now Sonic. We are going to see the revival of other older franchises.
Are we going to see more, Banjo-Kazooie? Are we going to see, Gex? What's going to come out next?
I hope not Gex. I hope not Gex. But Banjo is probably Xbox and Team. They're looking at that.
Right.
That's probably going to be hitting the market, and Spyro probably soon as well. But I mean, the long story short is, if you want to see more games like this, support it. It's $20. If you even like Sonic at all, this is probably the game to check out because they're doing good things in terms of Sonic. Are we gonna check it out? Sega, you send it to us for free, and we're all over it. If you don't, we're probably not gonna review it.
Right.
But to those who support it, I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope it does well.
But let's talk Banjo-Kazooie. Let's talk Rare. Because another thing Rare's been working on is Sea of Thieves, and how does that translate into our next topic? Is the Xbox Insider Hub.
So tell me a little bit about this, because I know some news broke this week, and there's some interesting stuff about the Xbox.
Yeah, the Xbox and the Hub itself, it's a great initiative to try to roll out, say, alpha programs, beta programs, like we did with Sea of Thieves.
Thank you so much.
Which was wonderful. Thanks, Rare. But now they're rolling out more access, say, to new menu builds, new system functionalities within the software itself, through the Xbox Insider program inside the Xbox Hub.
So it's much like when you get on the beta program for the Apple iPhone stuff, right? You know, you just get to try out their newest updates early, things like that.
Yeah, those things, but Xbox is also going above and beyond, and they have different tiers. So, different tiers of this program itself. We have, of course, the Alpha tier, like any other insider program, but then we also have, of course, the Beta tier. Then we have the Delta tier, and then we have the Omega tier. So, you know, it just depends on where you fall into in this testing program. Be warned though, in this program itself, depending on what tier you're in, your bandwidth usage could go up during the month.
Oh yeah, surprisingly, because you're the beta tester, all the data that they're getting is coming from you, which has to pass along your internet provider.
Great old internet providers and putting those blockages on usage. But let's talk now about the newest program itself. Dom, if I'm not mistaken, we're getting some awesome new screen builds, is that correct?
Oh yeah. So with the new Xbox update, right? They're completely revamping the way the pins work, the way your menu works. When you hit left, instead of it being vertical, it's now horizontal at the top. You go from your main power source to your friends, to your messages, to your invites. They're blowing out more of the achievement stuff. They're also making it to where your most recently used is the first thing you see. The next thing is My Games and Apps. So they're just completely revamping it per user request, because you know they have their blog out there. People are all over it. This is what I don't like. This is what I hate. All those Sony fanboys out there, they can't
find their games.
They can't find any of their games.
They can't make their way to the
all.
store.
When they come, it's like, you know, trying to learn, you know, a foreign language to them. So Microsoft realizes that, and they're taking care of it. I saw the preview of the update. You guys are probably watching it right now. Mr. Larry Erb himself is walking us through the different things that change. I'll be honest, Colt, I'm not impressed. I think it's uglier. I think every time they make an update, it's gotten worse. And it makes it harder for me to find something. And then once I get used to it, they come out with that 0.0 update again.
Right.
And they completely change it. So I just hope I can put my sexy May on my background, because if not, Microsoft, you have an unpleased customer.
I disagree. I'm speaking for a PlayStation fanboy here, but I currently hate the build out of the menu on the One. It is terrible. I get lost all the time when I get kicked out of Friday the 13th. I have a heck of a time trying to make it back, or even trying to download this Insider program. That was quite the adventure for me to try to find. So
I will give that one. I'll give that one too.
The current layout that I saw is reminiscent to me of that for the PlayStation menus. So I'm down. I like it. I like the organization, and I love the ease of visuals to me as well, and it looks like it's easy to navigate.
So coming from a PlayStation primary fan, I think Microsoft loves that you're saying that. And if you guys want to get into to the update early, go ahead and join the Xbox Insider Club, download the Xbox Insider Hub, sign up for that, and become a part of the Xbox community and get on this ship of new updates, and you're just going to be a part of making it better, so that's great.
Right, but speaking of ships, speaking of updates, let's talk about everybody's favorite game guy.
Well, I know I never said that.
Neither did I, but nonetheless, we all know everyone was hyped about No Man's Sky when it first came out. It had very huge buzz around it, and correct me if I'm wrong, E3 of last year is where it was announced. We were super stoked to go ahead and play.
2 E3s ago, actually. 2015, yeah.
So long ago. But nonetheless, we were super stoked to go play in space, find all these new planets, discover
Space pirates,
everything that we can, uncover new languages. The game comes out,
and it's Minecraft in space.
Minecraft in space, where you will never run into anybody.
Which, if you really pay attention to it and knew what you were getting into, it's actually a pretty cool experience, but it is kind of a one note, you know. Eventually it kind of wears out its welcome. You know, that's why I felt. I knew what I was getting into. I actually enjoyed No Man's Sky for about 25 hours.
Yeah, it's about
but then I kind of capped out. I was like, well, that was a good time. Right. I put it down, and I have yet to pick it back up.
Right. What do I do with Introvert Simulator? But guess what? Now we're going to Extrovert Simulator, because there's a new update coming out. Update 1.3 is now going to go ahead and add in, of course, more a little bit more changes. Excuse me. Some more missions, some more aliens, but the now functionable multiplayer. How do you feel about multiplayer now in No Man's Sky? Does that make you want to go ahead and pick the game back up?
No, and here's why. So I'm gonna read a little statement from our friends over at Kotaku. So here's why I'm not excited, okay? It's not quite multiplayer. You're only able to interact with up to 16 players who are represented by balls of light. Freaking light, Colton. Alright, I'm not excited because it's not multiplayer. I'm sorry. No, I'm not jumping in.
Oh, that's so sad to hear. I was more excited for the balls than the light. But 16 balls of light to play with? That's more than what you have now.
Yeah, well, what I have now are games that are worth my time, like
I'm getting
Overwatch,
a death stare across this
and,
table.
Things like that. So, overall, I'm not jumping back in. This is not doing it for me. You had your shot, Hello Games. You missed it. You done messed it up. You can't come back from that. Good luck, because I don't want to see you guys go away. But what I don't want to see is Sean Murray as your face of the company anymore, because you guys screwed up and now you're putting him back on the face. Yeah. Not a good look, because you're not getting people like me to get back in, and you got to do a heck of a lot more. Probably release a whole nother game.
Maybe they'll win another award at DevCon that he's not around to accept. But
best case scenario.
Moving on. Let's still stay in this gaming category. Let's talk Saints Row. Oh, excuse me. I mean Agents of Mayhem.
No, I think you had it right.
Is it? It's a Saints Row clone. Let's be honest. But I'm super stoked. Why? I love blowing things up. Also, I don't like Crackdown, but this feels like better than Crackdown because I can blow things up. Of course, in a multiplayer arena.
So I'll be 100% honest. You guys are hearing it here. We're gonna talk about it because Colt over here is excited about it. Him and one other dude out there is excited about it because I haven't heard anything about this game. And let me tell you this. Here's my story, right? At E3, I played Crackdown. I don't like it, I'll be honest. But a game that was there that I had the chance to play all E3 that I did not touch after looking at it multiple times, Agents of Mayhem.
So you went and played Letdown, but you didn't go and play Agents of Mayhem.
So from what I'm looking at, as what you guys are looking at right here, is some gameplay, and it looks like a worse version of a game I don't like, which is Crackdown. So yeah, for good reason, I think I skipped it. For you guys who are fans of it, I know this developer does great things. I hope you guys support it. But yeah, cool. Have fun.
No, I'm going to have fun. This is my Saints Row clone. I loved Saints Row 3 and 4. Not a big fan of 1 and 2, and this looks more along the lines of the back half titles than, of course, the first half. And, if you pre-order now, you can go ahead and get Johnny Gat. If that's not saying that this is Saints Row, then I don't know what it is. But nonetheless, this game drops Tuesday. I'm stoked.
So, one thing I will say is just kind of, reading over the articles that we went over is they are making a lot of updates. They're trying to make it feel more Overwatch-esque. They're trying to get on that bandwagon. They're going really deep into their characters and their lore. So for the people who that means something to, they are trying.
Me. The only person this means something to, me.
So what are the big, if any, what are the big changes, or what are you excited for?
More or less the more open world functionality, kind of like what we got back with Saints Row in this game. And then, as you said, the Overwatch-esque functionality that Volition is trying for as well. I'm not a big fan of FPS, but this game itself, it has that wacky aspect that Saints Row does have, and of course, that FPS-esque arena type game. So, just because I'm a Saints Row fanboy, that's why I'm drawn in.
You know what else people are drawn into, Colt?
What? Pokemon!
So, what's dropping right now is Pokemon Sun and Moon players can now get their hands on 4 more Mega Stones with a mystery gift password. Ooh. So, what this is a lot of times the Pokemon company gives out gifts.
Right.
And they do it via what they call via the internet.
Right. And
you can download them. So, now you're going to be able to get 4 more Mega Stones for your Pokemons out there. So, I'm a huge fan. I'm sure I already have them downloaded because my crazy partner is even crazier about Pokemon. So go out there and get your Mega Stones. Get them fast because they might be going away.
Going away soon. And if I'm not mistaken, you don't have to go to GameStop
Exactly. Not this time. You didn't get me this time, Pokemon Company.
Oh man, those wonderful brawls at GameStop. But speaking of brawls, Overwatch. Overwatch, our favorite game of all time, is now adding in the one mode Jeff Kaplan swore we were never going to add in, the deathmatch mode.
Deathmatch. So, we've been talking a lot about Overwatch, as we do almost on the daily, and one of the things I said is most of the time people treat Overwatch like deathmatch anyways.
Right.
Why don't they just put it in the game?
What the heck is a payload?
Well, exactly. Well, here you go, guys. Here's your mode. So get the hell off of my other modes and get into deathmatch, because that's where you belong, because you don't know how to play the game right.
The Reaper mains, the Pro Genjis, the Hanzo mains. Get out of my game.
Yes.
But wonderful enough, there's coming with this deathmatch update 2 game modes. We're going to get Team Deathmatch, and we're also going to get a free-for-all. Team Deathmatch will be a 12-player match, of course, 6v6. Free-for-all will be an 8-player match. So, first person, I believe, in the free-for-all match itself, 20 kills.
Oh, so I'm looking at you like I'm crazy. I've actually been all over the
crazy.
PTR. Go ahead and check out twitch.tv/thegamelooters. I have all my PTR game footage there. The 2 modes comprise of one, which is at the Chateau, which is Widowmaker's new map, which is very cool. It's basically 1 versus 7 in all mayhem mode. It's basically you against everybody else. That's the mode I like the least, because I'm a May player, and May players, what we don't do is play solo. We need team around us to help us
to block them in with an ice wall.
But whatever we do, the point is they die. Okay. And the other mode is, there was different maps. I played like Lunar, I played a few different ones. That one's a 4v4 mode.
Oh, it's a 4v4.
So yeah, 4v4, not 6v6.
Excuse me.
So 4v4, so they kind of hone it in a little bit, and that one is super fun. I enjoyed that one a lot.
So how did it feel actually just murdering people on the map instead of pulling your hair out over the payload not moving or losing the point?
So I mean, the team one felt good, because if you play with individuals who actually think of themselves as a team, you move as a unit. So that one actually felt pretty good. It still kind of feels weird, I guess, because I'm so used to playing the 2CP payload, different modes like that in Overwatch. So having this, I'm wondering what my objective is.
Right.
And it's just to kind of kill the other team. But they have like an announcer, much like everything else, to where they kind of you get the feel of the deathmatch.
So does it feel like a Halo-esque
kind
game with that announcer?
of, yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. Kind of tells you where you need to go. I mean, how many kills you need. It tells you the team needs 2 more. Team needs 10 more. It goes from 20 then to 30, and 30 is where the match ends. So first to 30. But you can start feeling like the pressure kind of build on. So I mean, overall, I liked it. I like that they're adding it. I don't know if it was crucial or essential at all. It's kind of weird that, again, it's coming in between summer games. That's kind of weird.
I believe it is essential, though, to the game's growth, because if we keep playing what we have, the game's going to just fizzle and burn. So, great move here by the Overwatch team adding in these modes. My question, though, for you, Dom, let's reach out real quick to our support crowd. How much support were you playing with in Team Deathmatch?
Personally, a lot, because like everything else Overwatch, nobody picked it. So I've been getting real accustomed to Mercy, because if I don't, nobody else will. I'm horrible at Mercy, but hey, a horrible Mercy is better than what? No Mercy, right?
And correct me if I'm wrong as well, with Mercy, if you do res people, your death is subtracted. Yeah,
so I mean, that's a positive, which did happen a couple times. But it takes a little longer for you to build up your ult, just because of the fluidity of the game.
Right.
So that's kind of a difficulty, but yeah, it was just a lot of me playing healer, kind of like always, because no one wants to pick healer. So there was that. Also, real quick before I forget, go check out Game Looter number 2, his Overwatch minute. John Romero recorded his Overwatch minute. You'll see lovely Widowmaker and Junkrat on there.
Ooh.
He'll take you, a little snapshot of what you'll be looking at, and that's on our YouTube channel right now, youtube.com/thegamelooter, so check that out.
Wonderful. But now let's keep transitioning here into the Blizzard world with Overwatch, and of course we talked about May, we talked about Mercy, but let's talk about the spectrum of women overall.
So Blizzard, they like their women's
They're women's. They like their 21% of women's. If
Oh yes.
not-
So this is an interesting story, and we have to cover it. You know, we love Blizzard and everything they do in ARP. Sometimes they make us scratch their heads, much like when Jeff gave it to the Roadhog mains out there.
Ooh, poor Jeffy Cappin. But Blizzard is now putting its focus on, you know, making the company more diverse. There are, as we've seen in the past, very LGBTQ friendly, just with, of course, the storylines we've seen with Emily and Tracer. But now, you know, we're moving on to real world situations and, you know, the lack of women within the company for Blizzard itself. So now they're going to start focusing on that. But how, you may ask? Well, it starts with an email, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, no, it sure does. You know, it started with a little email that went out to everybody. So the email basically just kind of states that they kind of offer them the monthly meetings. You know, it just created that council for women at various levels. It kind of, there's a lot of hotkeys that they hit in the email. We won't kind of cover it all. But, you know, some of the things that I kind of laughed at here is, I'll read you one piece of it, right? It was to enhance exclusiveness for those who identified as women.
Yeah.
So I thought that was quite interesting, as they're just trying to cover all their bases.
Right, but they are very LGBTQ friendly as well, so you know we're handling all those letters in that statement. So I'm actually applauding Blizzard right now.
So one of the things I thought was pretty cool is next year they are going to be starting the Women at Blizzard Summit.
Yeah, a summit.
So I thought that was pretty legit. I mean, I guess they're being very transparent as opposed to other companies. I just don't know how I feel about them publicizing it. I don't know. It kind of makes me feel in a sense, yeah, they're doing good things. In another sense, it's like, is that needed to publicize? Why can't you guys just do it?
Like, instead of making it known that, hey, we only have, 1/5 of our company are women. Instead of just being like, oh crap, we are maybe being a little sexist in our hiring, so let's step up our game. But, you know, maybe Blizzard is trying to make the change in a positive light. So maybe they just want other companies to take notice.
Yeah, so I mean, overall, after reading the report, you know, really, I guess just kind of summarizes, Blizzard's just trying to stress diversity throughout their company. Just because there was an incident that happened with the Hearthstone player in, I think, last year, to where that Hearthstone player was harassed because, you know, for like racism, things like that. So, you know, they're trying to better themselves in the wake of that BlizzCon thing. You know, and they're trying to, you know, mitigate kind of what their outlook is. So again, they are doing big things. You know, it's just, I don't know if this was a way to do what they're trying to accomplish. It's like saying, hey mommy, watch me, you know, I just did something cool. I don't know how I feel about that. I do like what they're doing, it's just how they're doing it. That's kind of where my feels are with that.
Your feels, my feels is they're just putting other people on notice. So yeah, maybe we shouldn't have announced this to the world because it is putting the company in, you know, a bad PR situation. But on, you know, the positive side of the spectrum as well, we are taking notice to this issue. And, you know, women in gaming is something that the gaming industry's always been lacking. So it's another positive step forward. And then, of course, just to touch base to say, like our last episode with like the WNBA being added into those NBA games, women in gaming is now becoming a hot topic, and I hope it does catch a lot of traction, and, you know, hopefully we'll see some equality in the gaming industry.
Well, speaking about the NBA, the last thing I want to leave you guys on the news section here is kind of a hot deal for you guys. So if you're looking into purchasing an NBA game this season, either 2K or live, realistically, I don't care if 2K costs $100, go get that one, it's a better game. But hey, if you got $34 just buried in a hole in your pocket and you want a lesser NBA experience, I hope it's not good lucky, eh? We got a deal for you. So right now, NBA Live, EA just announced that if you pre-order NBA Live 18, they're gonna give you 33% off the game off the top. And then if you have Amazon Prime, it's even cheaper than that. You can basically get this game for like 30 bucks. A full $60 retail game. Now, one of the things that we touched on last episode, more women in games, WNBA coming, super cool. Just for that, I want to honestly give the game a try.
Right.
The second thing is they're bringing this new story mode to all their games. Madden, they're doing it to NBA Live, they're doing it to FIFA. This year, NBA is going to have their own story tailored from EA for where you start from the ground up and work your way up. 2K is kind of already doing this, but they're gonna put their own EA movie-ish spin on it. They're gonna try to make it more of a movie experience.
Right.
So that's pretty cool. So I mean, honestly, $30. I mean, if you're a sports fan,
Yeah, you're gonna be all over this, especially
this
for
is actually a pretty good deal.
brand new game. It's not like saying, oh, you know what, NBA Live 17, we'll give you that right now, 33% off. No, you get 18 right out of the gate. We get this bad boy for $39.99, or like Dom said, if you are that Amazon Prime member, we're looking at about a $30 price tag, which is awesome. But real quick, what date is this dropping?
This comes out September 15th, I think.
September time frame, ladies and gentlemen. So if you guys want, jump all over this while you can, because you know, NBA Live 18, get it before it shoots back up to $60.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, if you're even thinking about it, if you saw any of the trailers, if you want to really know if you should buy this right now, this weekend, the demo is out there. It just went live a few days ago. By the time you're listening to this, it went live about 5 days ago. So go download NBA Live 18, give it a try. That's gonna tell you if A, you pre-ordered, or B, you don't. You know if you're gonna like it, you know if you're gonna play it, and if you are, jump all over this deal. Do it now. And guess what? If you change your mind, cancel your pre-order. But ultimately, if you want to get it, $30, it's a great deal.
Exactly, at a great price
And
tag.
Colton, that's the news, bud.
Did we make it?
We made it. So,
Ooh.
with all that being said, those are all the news and happenings. So, before we end the show, I want to talk a little bit about what have you been playing, man?
What have I been playing? I have been playing, of course, Splatoon 2. If you haven't seen our review, please do check out
please go to the Splatoon 2 review.
the Splatoon 2 mayo versus ketchup review.
So, we strategically went out. I'm going to say strategically.
Strategically.
We
For lack of
strategically
better
put it
term.
out at that time because that ketchup versus mayo, it still haunts me. I feel mayo splatters in my dreams. It's the worst thing Nintendo's done to me. Please don't do chocolate versus vanilla, because I'm gonna yak two girls in a cup style. Okay,
Yeah.
I can't deal with it, Colt. So yeah, but besides that, I'm still playing Splatoon 2 as well.
We are, and then of course, like always, the Overwatch, just because of the summer games. Been hitting up some comp Lucio Ball. And you know, all the other same titles as always. Friday the 13th, we got the Final Fantasy 12, and then, you know, coming soon to play to my list, just because of the Xbox Live deals, I have Slime Rancher, and I might very loosely term here try Bayonetta one more time, even though when I was in college I wrote the worst review of it that I could possible. So I'm holding myself back, but I'm maturing.
There you go. As you mature, so do your taste, and you're crazy if you don't like this awesome game by Platinum. Bayonetta is awesome.
Maybe.
So
my review
hopefully-
said otherwise back in
Hopefully
college.
you give it another shot, because I think this is a unique game. It's especially a unique game that originally came to Nintendo. It was just all kinds of weird. I'm surprised Nintendo even touched this game, but it's definitely a game worth playing.
Vice versa. It actually came to Sega first. Sega published it on the Xbox, and of course, I believe it put out PlayStation 3. Sega dropped it because they love Sonic, and now Nintendo picked it up.
I'm talking about Bayonetta 2. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. Yeah, save your butt there.
Yeah, there you go. It's that one.
But then, you know, as we talked earlier, Ages of Mayhem definitely on my list. I'll be picking that up on Tuesday. And then just a real quick plug for next month, please go and pick up the new Metroid game coming out on the 3DS. And that leads me into one real quick topic here, Dom. The exclusive 3DS edition of Metroid.
Yeah, so this recently dropped. I don't know, for whatever crazy reason, I don't know, you chucked your 3DS across the freeway because you saw that this came out. That's really the only reason you should be getting a new 3DS, because the Switch is out there. But if that's you, a red and gold, red and yellowish kind of color
it's
3DS,
cool. I like it.
It looks gorgeous.
It looks beautiful, yes.
I would be all over it, but I play my Switch.
Yeah.
I go back to my 3DS for Pokemon. But I mean, I have two 3DSs in the house, probably a third one if I look in some box, I'm sure. So I for no reason need this. But if you are in the market for a new 3DS, and if you didn't go ahead and pull your money out and throw it at Nintendo for the 2DS XL, then here you go. Because this is basically tailored for you Metroid fans out there. This is a Samus version of the 3DS, and we are excited to play Samus.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Samus Return is gonna be awesome.
I know, it reminds me so much of Super Metroid. I'm just stoked. But
yeah, and it looks like they're doing it right, so that's
great job. But enough about me, Dom. What you playing?
So, I can't talk enough about Splatoon 2. I'm also playing Splatoon 2. I'm also playing a game right now that I cannot talk about, but it's coming out later this month. You'll know when it drops. We're super excited to have it, but we can't talk about it, but you're gonna see it come out. I'm super excited. I am playing that, but another thing, we are playing Killer Instinct. John introduced me to Killer Instinct a couple days ago. Go check out our YouTube channel. Again, youtube.com/thegamelooters. Check out our twitch.tv/thegamelooters channel. We played a ton of Killer Instinct. We have a little Let's Play on there, so that was actually pretty fun, surprisingly.
Even though we knocked it, like, on our second video?
Yeah, I knocked it so hard, but when I actually gave it a chance, it's actually a pretty good fighting game. Again, I'm not the fighting game guy. I'm horrible at them. I barely have fun. There are certain games like Injustice that I truly like because of the characters.
Right.
But this game looks really good. It's kind of old, but Xbox still supports it. Anyways, it was a fun time.
Yeah.
John loves it. He's Mr. Tournament guy. But go check that out. That's cool. I'm also still playing, obviously, Overwatch. I'm still playing The Witcher 3. I actually got into another game. I can't talk about too much either, just because it is under, some severe, NDA stuff. But I did play the Darwin Project. This is a game that I played at E3. It's kind of like Hunger Games style. I really liked it. It's kind of janky in some cases, but that's kind of what the charm is about it.
Yeah, it's like a Battleborn.
Yeah. So every Thursday, I'm part of, I guess, like being a part of like the beta. So every Thursday I hop in and I play a little Darwin Project, and it's been consistently updating, and it's gotten a little bit more fun. It's quite interesting. It's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
It's either you like it or you don't. I wish I could talk more about it, but it's something to look out for. So don't let this game pass you by. It's gonna come out to Steam first, probably Xbox next. The Darwin Project, I think it's gonna end up being like $30. But definitely, go look at videos on YouTube on that, because it is a pretty neat game. What else are we playing?
Ooh, how about Lawbreakers?
So Lawbreakers just came out, unfortunately, to a rough start. I know they've patched it out now, and they're not having any connectivity issues and those issues that they were plagued by, so that's good. $29.99. Should you play it? I'm not buying it. I tried it during the free beta weekend. It has Quake vibes, but that zero grav stuff, man, it just takes me down. You go inside certain buildings, and it's just regular. You play there, and then when you go outside, there's no grav. So when you hit the space key, or you jump, or the A button, whatever you're hitting, or X, I'm sorry, you launch up, and it just kind of feels hard. It feels like you're not in control, and that bothers me a lot. One thing Cliffy B and team did get right was like the characters. The characters are pretty unique. There's tanks, there's Destiny-esque characters that have like double guns. There are a cool variety of characters. Again, $29.99. You're gonna like it or you're not gonna like it. If you would like Quake Unreal Tournament in 2017 with no grav, all over it. Go ahead. Do you. I'll continue playing Overwatch. But I see them trying, and hopefully it sells, because it probably is a good game for those who like that style of games. So I did play through that. And I want to say I'm playing something on Nintendo. I mean, I'm just playing more Zelda Breath of the Wild. I'm still trying to get through those trials. Farthest I made it so far was level 42, but I am still trying to go hard at that. And then I also jumped into a little Batman Arkham Knight for whatever reason. I was like, I'm gonna jump back in. The moment they made me drive the Batmobile, I immediately closed it out. And then I remembered, this is why I didn't play this game. But that's pretty much what I've been playing. One thing I want to say before we wrap up the show is just a little housekeeping. If you could, please leave us a comment down below. Be a part of the show. We would love for you guys to suggest segments, suggest topics, things for us to talk about. tell us what we got wrong, or tell us what your thoughts are on what we conversated about, and we would love to talk about it on the next show.
Right.
If you haven't, for whatever reason, if you're new to the channel, subscribe for more content just like this. We cover all the gaming news, gaming reviews, and much more. So make sure you guys smash that like button and go ahead and hit the subscribe button.
Smash it once. If they smash it twice, they're gonna subscribe and then unsubscribe.
Yeah, or just drive us crazy and just continually smash it. Either way, be a part of the show. Like our stuff, comment our stuff, subscribe to our stuff. Follow us on twitch.tv/thegamelooters.
On Twitter.
Yeah, SoundCloud if you want to hear a podcast. SoundCloud.com/thegamelooters. Tweet at us at thegamelooters. We'll follow you, like you, all that stuff. We'll also collaborate with you. So if you guys are out there, we love supporting the gaming community, and the gaming community loves to support us. We hope. So just let us know. So, Colton, that's the show, buddy. We made it, man.
We made it. Episode number 9 is in the books. I am feeling great about this one. But yeah, it's been a pleasure being back as always. Look out for new content coming out throughout the week. Sometimes I like to be random, so we just drop some, random stuff whenever. Be on the lookout for reviews, loot box openings, whole 9 yards. But nonetheless, Dom, it's been a pleasure. Game Looter number 3, Colt. I'm out.
Jeff Kaplan don't have too much pleasures out there with all them ladies.